Well, welcome back to the Powerful Communication Podcast. This is Colin Kelly from Comsteria. You can keep in touch with us at comsteria.co.uk. This is just a quick one about AI. I'm quite struck with some of the attitudes towards AI that I encounter, particularly when I'm browsing around LinkedIn. There's a ton of content on AI, and you get people like Gary Ennis, Mike McGrail, Andrew Bruce Smith. They're my sort of three trusted sources, credible sources, I think, that I go to when I need information about AI. And they talk a lot of sense, a lot of information that you can go on and use in terms of AI. And they seem quite balanced about it. But then you get these other people, I don't know if you've seen them, where they seem to be sort of urging all of us. They're urging us to immerse ourselves in AI. I'm looking at some messages just now and they're saying, if you're a PR and you're not all over AI, then you're going to be left behind. And it talks about the work that it's going to remove. And then it says, but if you immerse yourself in it and use it as a day-to-day tool, then, somehow things will be better. And I can't get my head round this urgency. That attitude is like somebody saying in 1996 that if you work in business and you're not learning HTML code or you're not on GeoCities, that you'll be left behind. Or saying to somebody, it would be like saying to Paul Weller in 1998, if you're in the music industry and you're not on MP3s, you're going to get left behind. Like, how does it follow that immersing yourself in the early stages of a technology, how does it follow that immersing yourself in that is, number one, going to protect your job, and number two, somehow going to get you ahead? Technology in particular is littered with people who went first and were then swept aside when it got improved and got replaced. The people that, unless you want to build websites and work with codes, I know a little bit, and I learned a little bit about HTML, enough to know I wasn't interested in it. I'm really glad I waited and just used WordPress. Why this urgency to push the whole industry, everyone, to embracing and immersing ourselves in AI? And if you do work in the industry and you do genuinely think that, why would you start trying to encourage everyone else? Let them do what they do. You'll get even more benefits if you understand it all and they don't. You'll be even further ahead. But it really baffles me, this driving urgency that if you don't do this, you're going to be left behind. Get with it. There's part of me thinks it's just fear. There's part of me thinks that the pace of change in the world, and perhaps it's things like energy prices and the financial crash and conflict in Europe, which we had. We had the Yugoslav wars and others in the 90s, which I certainly remember. But there's a lot of people seem to think that conflict in Europe is some kind of new thing. But however, I think it has unsettled us a lot, and COVID as well. And I wonder if there's maybe people that the AI's come along and they've thought, oh no, not more change. And worse, it's coming for me, it's coming for PR, it's coming for comms. And it's almost this kind of, right, I need to pick a ship. What am I jumping on? Am I going all in on AI? And that will make me feel better because I'll feel like I'm in control of where my destiny goes. Or am I not? Am I a refusenik? And then I'm going to get, swept aside. I've got my head in the clouds. And people thinking that it's one or the other. And I would just urge everybody, if you're listening to this, just chill out. Just take it easy. Take the middle ground. Just learn a little bit, dip your toe in, see what you think. Keep an open mind about it. Keep an open mind. You don't need to go crashing headfirst into all things AI. It's not going to be like that. It isn't going to be like that. And you talk about GeoCities and HTML code now, and it's like, okay, yeah, it was fun at the time. It was fun for a little while. And a few months ago, it was like every day I saw it was all, we need prompt training. We need to learn how to prompt. And now there's people going, no, you don't. Just ask AI how to prompt. Or there's open prompts. There's prompt libraries. Just take it easy. And I think especially if you're in a leadership role, if you're managing a team, I think this is really important. And I know that sometimes, I can be a bit cynical about some of this stuff and a bit negative maybe, but I really think this is important, that if you're running a team, please don't destabilize them. If you want to embrace AI and everything, great, fill your boots, but do it quietly. Don't go crashing around, because if your team think that there's even more instability, they're already in a tricky place, some of them. And what they really need with AI, and I'm sure it will change things, of course it will, technology always does, but what they don't need is that panic and that fear and this kind of crazy urgency going on. They need a cool head, they need steady leadership, they need to be guided through it. And what they can't have is 1 minute you're really excited about this, and then a few days later you're really excited about this. Just because you have read someone else on LinkedIn talking about AI. So what I would really urge you to do is maybe pick 1 or 2 trusted voices and just watch them over time. Just follow them and just read it and kind of let it ruminate a little bit. Just take your time with it. And then think about what you give to your team and what you implement and what you play around with. I think it's great to have an attitude of experimentation and an open mind and that culture of being open to change and being open to technology. But this notion that if you're not all over AI, you're doomed. Honestly, and feel free to save this podcast and come back. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Take it easy. Thank you very much for listening.